Alright guys, so I'm going to share with you today how to get the best deal on a diesel truck. So how do I know how to get the best deal? Well, I've been doing this for a long time. I've owned over like 17 different diesel trucks. Daily drive them for about 3 to 4 months. You get bored, sell them, get another one. And I also know this because I just sold this same truck. I had a 2003 LB7 Duramax, and I just sold mine that I had for $18,000. And I picked this one up, this 2003 LB7. It's around the same mileage as my last one. It's around 200,000 miles on it. And I paid $10,000 for it. So you may ask, how did I do that? Well, it came down to three things for me. It came down to budget. It came down to how much work I wanted to put in the truck and how much money I wanted to spend with the truck. I always end up putting money into my diesel trucks, so I was very selective what I'd be willing to do on my diesel truck. I didn't want to do 10 small things to my diesel truck, maybe 2 or 3 small things, because that's just what a used truck's going to need. So this truck was the nicest one, paint-wise, body-wise, no dents, dings, scratches. Well, maybe a couple dings and scratches, but pretty flawless-looking truck. Yeah, pretty nice. Personally, I actually like this better than the one I just sold for $18,000, so I consider this a home run. Now, you may ask, how did I do this? Well, I looked at 12 different trucks. That's right. I drove down to the Bay Area. I spent all day in the Bay Area looking at trucks. I looked at 3 or 4 in the Bay Area. I looked at like 3 or 4 in Sacramento. I went up to Reno, and that's how I found this truck. I took the gamble. I drove up to Reno, spent like 3 or 4 hours there looking for trucks, and this was the last truck I looked at while I was there. It was like 10 o'clock at night, 3 hours from my house, and I had to have it. I was just pretty much looking for Grandpa's truck, you know, truck driven by Grandpa, owned by Grandpa, just nicest overall. So if you guys want the best deal on a diesel truck, that's what I would do. I would definitely look at like 10 different trucks. I'd make that a goal to at least look at like 5 or 6 before you buy one. That way you know what the market's like. The market was pretty rough on trucks right now, especially diesels. They're just hard to get. So yeah, here she is. It's a pretty nice truck. It needed a little bit of work, and I was okay with that because all diesel trucks need a little bit of work. Now, I was selective with that because I wanted a truck with rebuilt steering, nice, comfortable ride, so I didn't mind doing that. And this truck had a blown out steering, just all worn out. So I went to the D-Max store, got D-Max tie rods, got a bunch of bushings, got end links, kryptonite end links, steering stabilizer, steering box, idler arm, and a pitman arm, a couple other small things. Like I said, this is all stuff I wanted to do to my truck anyways to make it nice and comfortable ride, so I was on board with that. It fit in my price range, and it worked out for me. So I just got done rebuilding all the steering components on the truck, and like I said, I just sold my last one for $18,000, and I like this one a lot better. So I honestly value this truck around 18 grand, maybe 16, 18,000. Very nice, very clean truck, which I like. I don't like, you know, having to take apart steering component or taking apart interior stuff and having to fix stuff like this. It's just very clean. Wasn't a work truck, which is nice. Seats are decent. Just all really nice truck all around. So that'd be my number one thing. Just get out and look at as many trucks as you can. This will be a giant help to you finding a truck. You need to know what the market's like. The market's always different. You might go look at 10 trucks and they're all really nice. And that's just how the market is. But like I said, I had to look at 12 before I found one where I was like, okay, this truck isn't completely junk. It's worth my time. It's a nice truck. It's going to save me money in the long run. So this is what I ended up with. Yeah, I love it. Like I said, I like it better than the one I sold, and very happy with it. So that's my major piece of advice. Obviously, go do all the diesel stuff to checking the engine, like the valve cover cap, check for blow by. Check to see if they have any receipts for like injectors. This truck just had injectors done, which is huge on the LB7. That's how I know that the guy had money, right? Always a good sign if the person has money, right? If they're not like a broke person, then you know they had money to put into the truck. And this guy had a very good job. He had 5 kids, it worked out. It really did work out very well for me in the end. So those are all really good signs. You know you're getting a good truck. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Very nice looking truck. Now, let's talk about the bad ones I looked at. Bad signs were like finding 10 things wrong with the truck. The person didn't care. They just let stuff go out, go out, go out. They didn't have the money to repair it. Now, all these trucks were kind of just like, they gave me a cringe in my stomach because I'm so used to looking at stuff with my inspection business. This one didn't have any rust, even though this truck was from Nevada. It had no rust, had no weird programmers in it, nothing weird like that. Had new tires. Obviously, if it had new tires, which they're Toyos, they're good brand tires, you can kind of see the money that someone puts in the truck. So look for good things like that. Look for the person putting money in the truck. Look for top dollar items, not small like things like them changing bushings and stuff that costs under $100 that anyone could do on their budget. And yeah, I'll probably post another video with a little bit more information about it, but I really do think I could help some people look for better vehicles. Obviously, that's what my business is. I own a pre-purchase inspection business, but yeah, just stuff to look for. I would definitely not like find one or two things wrong with a truck and be like, okay, this truck isn't worth my time, right? That just doesn't make sense. That's room for improvement on a vehicle. Every vehicle is going to need that. Just look for the areas that you can actually work with the truck on, because that's what you're going to need to do with the used vehicle. You're not going to find 100% perfect truck. Like when I saw the steering need to be done, I was like, okay, what diesel truck doesn't have play in the steering except for one that's been done like the last 5-7 years? So just stuff like that I wouldn't be too mindful about. But look for accident damage. That takes all the value away from a truck. If it's been in an accident, look for check body gaps. Look to see if it's been off-roaded. You do not want a truck that's been off-roaded. Out of the 12 trucks I looked at, it looks like 3 of them were like owned by kids, teenagers. And I'm not saying it's bad to buy from a kid or a teenager, but they were off-roaded very hard. It wasn't grandpa's truck. It wasn't driven every once in a while, taken and garaged, kept in the shade. This truck was really cared for. And those are the signs I look for when I'm doing my inspections, is how is the vehicle cared for? How much does the person love their vehicle? But yeah, those are some good signs. So if you guys want to stick to those rules, I would say it's going to help you find a better truck. I'd say I saved like probably like $5,000. No, probably more than that. Probably like $7,000-8,000 not buying one of those other trucks. And even putting that much money into a truck, it wouldn't have been as nice as this one in the long run. So that's how you get your best deal on a diesel truck. So like I said, go look at 6 or 7 of them at the very minimum. Then make your decision. Like I said, you have cash, right? You don't have to buy right away. You're the person with the cash. You can wait and think about it a little bit. You should. It's a lot of money because once you make that purchase, you can't go back. Yeah, you can sell it, but it's going to take a lot of time, effort, DMV time to change names and whatnot, a lot of money for registration. It's just not worth it. Just take your time when you're looking for a truck, and that's my best advice when looking for really any vehicle. So, yep. I guess that's going to be then.